Good morning, students. Today we will proceed with the remaining part of the patient counseling. So we were discussing about the patient counseling stages. We had discussed about the stages, like the first stage was the opening the session, then preparation for the session, and then the counseling content, and then finally closing of the session. So in counseling content, we have already discussed the previous 20 items, what are very important, which needs to be discussed with the patient in detail. So what are the remaining items which needs to be covered in the patient counseling? We'll discuss it now. So coming to the 21st point, you have to discuss, the pharmacist has to discuss the storage recommendations and the ancillary instructions. Ancillary means other extra information which is important for the patient to know. So you have to discuss the storage recommendations and the ancillary instructions to the patient. Storage recommendation is very important, because most of the people are illiterate and they store their medicines on the refrigerator, sometimes on the refrigerator. I'm not speaking inside the refrigerator, but they keep it on the refrigerator, or sometimes they keep in their bathroom cabinet, sometimes they keep in the kitchen, so where there is lot of humidity and heat. So that is not ideal place for storing the medication. So the patient needs to be informed about the particular storage condition, whether to store in a cool place away from sunlight, to store in a refrigerator, or what are the other extra information, that all needs to be provided. And if it is a suspension, we all know that we have to use it by shaking. So shake well before use, that instruction should be informed to the patient for suspensions and other dosage forms. And if you have to refrigerate it, that information also needs to be provided to the patient. So you have to give general storage recommendations for all the medicines, and if there are some specific storage recommendations, that also you need to give to the patient. Next, coming to the next content, explain to the patient in precise terms what to do if he or she misses a dose. So when you are explaining this point, you should explain this with an example to the patient, so that it becomes very easy for him to understand. So you have to tell him the time what he has missed, and what time if he has realized, then what he should do, that needs to be made him understood clearly. So the actual times of the day and the specific examples should be used to make this clear. Okay, for example, if the patient has missed the dose in the 5 p.m. in the evening, and if we realize, I'll tell you with an example. Suppose if a patient has missed his afternoon dose, and he has realized this in this evening, suppose let us say by 5 p.m., then the patient should be asked that you have missed the afternoon dose. So now it is best to avoid the missed dose and take the next dose without fail, and not to repeat this mistake again. Okay, so this information you have to make him understand. But for example, if he has missed his dose and only 1 hour has passed, he has missed his 1 p.m. dose, and he remembers at 2 p.m., then he can take the missed dose. But he has missed the 1 p.m. dose, and if he realizes at 5 p.m., then he should not take the missed dose, and he should take the next dose, and he should be advised not to repeat the same mistake again. So this you have to explain with specific time and with a specific example. So when you are encouraging in this way, the patient will remember not to skip any other dose, but he will take the next dose whenever it is required. Okay, the next counseling content, check for further understanding by asking the patient to repeat back additional key information. Okay, this means you have to first fully understand the patient, and you have to understand the patient's dosage regimen. So then you have to ask the patient whether he has understood the regimen completely or not. You can ask him, like, if suppose the patient name is Mrs. Pooja, then you can ask him, Mrs. Pooja, sometimes information can be little confusing. Just to be sure, just to be sure you are clear, could you please tell me how you are going to take your medication? Okay, so this means you are specifying, and you are asking the patient that how to take the dosage regimen, how he has to administer. If the patient has any doubts, that can be cleared. The same way the pharmacist can ask regarding the side effects, storage conditions. Okay, so the pharmacist is asking him for how the patient has understood regarding the dosage regimen. He is asking the patient, he is communicating with the patient to understand the patient understanding in case of the dosage regimen, in case of the storage recommendations, and in case of the side effects. If any side effects occur, what are the precautions which he needs to take? So the pharmacist is ensuring that the patient understands all these three. Okay, and then to better control the time, the specific question might be useful. What time will you take your first dose? This also, in this way also you can ask. Okay, and whenever the patient is giving the correct answer, you can praise the patient. So the correct answers which are praised, and incorrect information should be corrected. So whenever you are doing praising, it will obviously improve the patient compliance. So as I have already told you, patient compliance or patient medication adherence, in order to improve that, effective patient counseling is very important. So in this way you can check for the understanding of the patient. Okay, next point, check for any additional concerns or questions. So this in this counseling session, you are asking him additional questions, or you are asking him your concerns which you are thinking that the patient should know. So the pharmacist should ask if this is so, and he should listen respectfully and carefully to what the patient says, and he has to respond with appropriate empathy to the additional any concerns if any patient has. Okay, the next one, advise patients to always check their medicine before they leave the pharmacy. So this is very important, because whenever they are leaving the pharmacy, you should always advise them to check their medicine. So this will help them to familiarize the patients with their medicine and make them a partner in ensuring that an error has not been made. So this is just ensuring in order to minimize your error. Okay, so the pharmacist should always say, please ma'am, check your medicine before you leave, or please ma'am or sir, check your medicine before you leave the pharmacy. And if you have any question or problems about the way it looks, please notify me. So if the patient has any doubt related to the medicine or in the purchase, what he has done, what else he has packed, so he can ask him clearly, or he can notify the pharmacist clearly. I don't intend to make any mistake, but it's good to be cautious. Okay, so the pharmacist generally doesn't make any mistake, but it's generally advised to be cautious by cross checking with the patient. So you are the final check. By doing this, you are emphasizing that this is a partnership in which both the pharmacist and the patient has the responsibility. So by advising the patients and by checking their medicines, you are realizing the patient that this is a partnership in which both the patient and the pharmacist has the responsibilities, in which both the patient and the pharmacist has responsibilities. Okay, so this is with this. The next content, use appropriate language throughout the counseling session. Okay, so you have to use the language in such a thing that the patient never gets confused. In appropriate layman language, you should talk to the patient, and sometimes the patient will use language that is unnecessarily confusing. For example, he may use the word hypertension rather than high blood pressure. He may use GI instead of gastrointestinal or stomach. He may use some other codes which are familiar to a pharmacist but not to a patient. So a pharmacist should be use the words with appropriate care, and he should use appropriate language throughout the counseling session. Many patients will not say they are confused because they do not want to appear stupid. It's obvious. Even if we have any question, if we have any doubt, sometimes we don't ask because we think we don't want to prove ourselves stupid, right? So the same is the case with the patient. So if you detect any confusion, it may be helpful to ask, have I said something that has confused you or concerned you, ma'am? So you have to keep your language simple, and in case if you have used some other terms, it is better to ask the patient whether it has confused them or not. So you can ask him, have I said something that has confused or concerned you, ma'am? So you should use a simple language that is understandable by patient and that helps to promote the medication adherence. So that will be simple language. It will also help in promoting the compliance, patient compliance, and your medication adherence. Okay, next, maintain control of the counseling session. So counseling session is a time in which you have to provide a great deal of information to the patient. So here you need to cover all the important points in order to counsel the patient effectively. So whenever you are providing the information, you should keep the patient's time also in point of view, whether the patient is having appropriate time, how much information you have to cover, how much you have to, what unnecessary information you can avoid. So you have to maintain, the main important is you have to maintain the control over the counseling sessions. So the concerns take time to address. So therefore you have to keep superfluous conversation to a minimum. Superfluous means which is least concern, or which is above the superfluous, okay, which is not required. So that conversation you have to keep to a minimum. Small talk is helpful to start the counseling session. You know, with a small talk you can start the counseling session with a polite words, but it needs to be brief and simply serve to break the ice. Okay, the session, it should be simply brief. Why brief? Because you have to provide all the information in detail. So the session should be brief and it should serve the whole purpose. The main purpose of the counseling session is what? To increase the patient medication adherence, to make him understand each and every point regarding the usage of the medication, that is a dosage regimen, storage recommendations, each and everything. So your main point, the main concern will be to keep your talk brief and to simply serve to break the ice, means whatever is required to do to take that medicine or to adhere to that medication regimen, that you have to provide in the patient counseling session. Next, organize the information in an appropriate manner. So as I have told you, counseling is very important. It should be brief. So there are many stages, many points which needs to be discussed. So whatever you are discussing, you should organize it in an appropriate manner. Okay, so the most important information, it should be provided at the beginning of the session, and again it should be repeated at the end. Okay, so the most appropriate information, it should be provided at the beginning, and it should be repeated at the end. In addition, the support of the drug should precede the side effects. That means whenever you are discussing the side effects, be sure that before discussing with the side effects, first you discuss the therapeutic uses or what support the drug is providing you. That all you need to, because in order to encourage the patient, in order to motivate the patient, you have to organize the information in such a way that you have to support the medication and you have to support the drug, that it is having proper therapeutic uses and you can have an improved quality of life before discussing the side effects associated with the drug. So this checklist has been formulated to reflect the recommended organization of the counseling session. Okay, so with this counseling session, with this counseling content, he can just close the session at last. Ma'am, this is the information. I hope you understood everything. In case of any doubts or any concerns, you can ask me freely, and I'll be pleased to clear your concerns or to correct your doubts. So this is the patient counseling stages. This is a very important question. You can expect this for a long marks. Explain about the stages of patient counseling. The next topic which we have to discuss in this unit is about the barriers of patient counseling. That is also very important question. What are the barriers to patient counseling, and then what are the strategies which are developed to overcome this patient counseling? Okay, overcome the barriers of patient counseling. So I hope you all understood the video. In case of any doubts or queries, please ping me, and please prepare the notes by referring the video and also the textbook. Thank you.